What is up, everybody? I am here ready for another special Go4Evolve Sunday Cup with a special guest today, DB Sinclair. How's it going, DB?
It's going well. Tired.
Yeah, me too. I heard you were up pretty late playing on PS4, actually.
Yeah, we were playing pretty late indeed. I was lucky to get up today, so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure anytime you come on, and it's been a while. I think it's been over a month now, actually. So
yeah, it's been good. We obviously want to, and we've had this conversation, but we obviously want to support the community. We want to support you and your crew and everything you do. But at some point, the bird needs to fly the nest, and so it's at that point where you guys are putting together such a quality show, and people are coming to see you guys on a weekly basis. So it's great to see. I'll be here anytime you want to have me on. But other than that, we love the job you guys are doing as a community to show off Evolve and to cast Evolve. So keep up the great work.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the compliments. It's great to hear how well the tournaments have been received every weekend, and to see the scene actually grow. Wasn't sure how things were going to go this week. I know we didn't have as many teams last week as we had the previous week, and then with this week, with Tier 4 being added in, it's kind of touch and go. But the number of teams registered this week compared to last week actually seems to be almost doubled. Let's take a look at that real quick.
Cool.
And you know what? The brackets are messed up again. This never works any week. Let me just update that real quick. But we do have, I believe, 17 teams registered today.
Brackets!
There we go.
I mean, this is like... I get, like, chills every time I see this, just from where we were, a year ago or like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Just showing off the game for the first time to everybody, and then to taking it to a place where there's like legitimate brackets on a website and seeing all the teams sign up just makes me so happy.
Yeah, and a couple new teams as well. Let's look at them real quick. We do have, first up, we have the Art of Warfare, Taw, one of my former teammates from the PAX East Pro-Am, in fact. Mad Cow, part of Taw, kind of coaching the team, I believe. I don't see him listed on the roster, but I believe he is their de facto coach. He runs those coaching events almost every weeknight now on Twitch at Mad Cow QQ.
Yeah, he's doing a great job with that. He's definitely got the experience and the knowledge, and of course the forum experience. I mean, he's bringing a lot of different areas of expertise into his coaching there.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking forward to seeing what they can do today and what kind of a show they put on for us. We also have Eclipse, German team. I'm not familiar with them, but it does look like this is the first time that they have ever registered for an ESL. So it's great to see, even 2 months later, new teams actually joining in and building up the scene. As well as Effie Phoenix. Another team, they did play last week, I think, maybe, or they were going to. I think that they were registered and they may have had some roster issues or something.
It's exciting.
Yeah, this week will be the first week that they actually play, so looking forward to seeing what they can do as well. And then, of course, we have Team Averse, the team from Singapore. Now, last week, they still didn't have a solidified monster. It's 4 hunters from Singapore that have been looking for a good monster player to play with them. And I've been hearing stories about their hunter gameplay for probably close to a month now. And everything I hear is people are scared of them, let me put it that way. Other
awesome.
Teams are afraid to play against them. And this week, due to some real-life issues, Wolves Esports will not be competing. Some of their hunters are unable to play. So Legendary, the monster player, has offered to sub for Team Averse. This is going to be one of the teams to watch out for today, I think.
Yeah, it's cool. You never know what a team's going to bring when you've never seen them before, and they just all of a sudden appear on the scene. They could be in boot camp this entire time, prepping and studying and bringing a pretty serious game when they come and debut.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully they don't get nerves being cast on stream. We are looking to cast their games first, so it will be Team Averse versus Epex White in the round of 16 right now.
Cool.
We should be joining up on them right now. Yeah, there's Shinra right there. Let me let's actually pull that up. And let's see here. You know, I don't think Shinra's the team captain. I think I joined the wrong person. Let me see if I can find Lauren real quick. Here he is. Okay, so he's not in a lobby yet. So they are still getting set up. So right now, what the teams are doing is they are going through the map pick and ban process, as well as the character picks. Just to cover it real quick for anyone who might be new, the way it works is each team is allowed to ban a selection of maps from the map pool that the ESL offers. So it'll have 4 map bans in total, 2 from each team alternating back and forth. The final 3 maps that are left are the 3 maps that will be played in any given best of 5. And then they have special rules for the finals, which are a best of 7, but we can cover those when we get to the finals later today.
Sweet.
Once those map bans are done, then they move into picking their characters. And the way that that works, rather than doing the blind pick that we normally see, you know, when you do ranked matchmaking in Evolve Online, they actually set up all their picks beforehand through the ESL website. And the way it works is the hunters choose 2 hunters first, followed by a monster, followed by the final 2 hunters. The order of pick is a trapper and a medic chosen first, then the monster chooses their monster, and then assault and support pick a final counter pick, if you will.
Yeah, exciting stuff. What's up, Legendary? What's up, everybody in the chat? Big hello and welcome to all of you. We absolutely appreciate you guys coming out every week, showing your support, watching Evolve. Talk about your other enterprises, if you will. You've got your podcast.
Yes, the other enterprises. Yeah, we do have the Stage 3 podcast. We could not do that this week. It was scheduled normally for Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Unfortunately, Insane 521 had some real-life obligations. We were originally going to do it on Friday, but the 24-hour charity stream was definitely more important, so we've delayed the podcast by 1 week. Episode 2 will be featured next Friday, I believe, provided that there's no real-life restrictions. Featuring myself, Insane 521, and some special guests, which we'll announce in the next couple of days. As well as that, we also have our community days where you guys, the viewers, get to play with pros or against pros as monsters and hunters. And that's 3 nights a week at minimum from Tuesday to Thursday. You guys can play a couple games with them, get some tips, learn a little bit about how to play, or maybe even get recognized. In fact, every single day that we've done this so far, at least one person has been noticed by one of the teams in the competitive scene and has either been picked up as a permanent player on a roster or as potentially as a sub, with the potential to maybe be a permanent player going forward.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, and it looks like chat is correcting me. Were things changed? Are things a best of 3 now? No, I'm looking at the rules. It does say all matches played are best of 5s, with the finals as a best of 7. Which I thought is what I said. Yeah. Yeah, if, so I'm a little bit confused by what chat is saying right now. People are saying best of 3. I'm looking at the rules right now, and we can actually go and pull them up on screen, too. Well, if the rules want to actually work, here we go. There we go. So if we pull up the rules, we can actually see here, where is it? Right here. All matches must be played best of 5 except the final. If someone is hearing otherwise, if you could just post a link in chat, or ask permission to post a link in chat to where you're seeing that it's a best of 3. One of the mods will give you approval to post the link, and we can get that sorted out. But yeah, I would definitely like to know if the rules changed, because it is written as a best of 5 in the ESL rules, so they should adhere to that. And let's see if Team of Verse is ready just yet. Okay, there they are. So we do have the invite. Excellent. Alright, and they are getting set up, so the lobby is not full just yet. We have Laren and Shinya waiting for the other two hunters from Team Averse, as well as the monster player. The monster player for Apex White, let's see, I think is Mach 7. Or maybe Call Shenanigans. I believe I've seen them both play monster before. So we'll have to see who actually goes in. Okay, so looks like Binges is actually linking something in chat. Hello teams from the Go4Evolve. All matches till the final will be played in a best of 3. In the final match for third place will be best of 5. The map vote system isn't active. Please ban your maps at the ESL wired chat. Interesting. I wasn't aware of that. When was that posted? If anyone knows what time that was actually posted, I'm just curious. All right. Yeah, we'll give Caps Up permission to post that link here.
Caps Up.
Yeah, there we go. So I guess they're going to be best of 3, so this may be a quicker tournament today. And it looks like we do have 4 players in the lobby now. Excellent.
Hello.
So that is their entire team. Let me get them muted real quick. Alright, so now we're just waiting for Apex White's monster player to join, and then they should be ready. Alright.
Have you seen any of these guys from Adverse play before?
I have never heard them play.
Okay.
All I know is that many monster players are scared to play against them. And even Aurora Symphony was one of the first people to tell me about them. He says that they're phenomenal.
Okay.
So
where he saw them in pickups, or you have any idea?
Yeah, I believe he first encountered them in matchmaking, but he's since scrimmed with them a bit.
Cool.
I think he does so still. Fairly regularly. You know, with him being in Japan right now and then being in Singapore, I don't think the lag is actually too bad for him. So it's an opportunity for him to play a good hunter team without much lag.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah, they may, if I remember from last week, you know, we were going to try and get them last week, but it was taking so long for them to set up that we moved on to a different team, actually. Getting the first games going of any given series is always the hardest part.
So your background there, it's the little command center in the dropship? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I used to have a picture of Cabot too. I think I do. Oh, wait a minute. No. Do I have... No, no Cabot. No Cabot, never mind. I did have one of Cabot right behind my head. I guess he's just not here today. It might be in a different scene. Sometimes he likes to stalk me throughout the casts.
We're gonna have to
Oh, you got it.
No, that's mine.
Oh. Oh man.
I'm working on yours. Yours is in the works.
Okay.
Someone asked where my hoodie is. I think so. Yours is in the works, but what I was gonna say is we got to get like a special one-off render of the dropship for you for your cast. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. In fact, going forwards, we are actually working on getting a full green screen control room for myself and our regular co-caster, Go Jamespot Go, who will be joining us a little bit later today. Because both of us have green screens, we can potentially just put ourselves into any scene that we want. So look forward for some cool little production value increases coming in the future.
Yeah, no doubt. That'll be good. What's up, guys? I am tired. It's early here. This is probably the earliest I've gotten up on it's Sunday, right? On a Sunday in a very long time.
Yeah, you're not used to it, right?
No.
Some days is the day to sleep in
Yeah.
and catch up on sleep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And oh man, we were playing late last night. It's one of those nights where you're just playing and playing and playing, and then you look and it's 3 or 4 a.m.
Now, were you streaming at all last night, or just playing casually
No,
offline?
just playing with people from the community. There's a really cool group. From what I've seen, just generally speaking, on the PS4, there's like a small like subgroup of people who are battling out for leaderboard spots, and they all seem to know each other, which is really cool. So they all try to play against each other, play with each other. Good little scene on the PS4 that I've run into. They all seem to know each other, or at least know who each other are, and try to seek each other out and prove their dominance. It's pretty awesome.
That does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see scenes like that developing across all 3 platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I get it here on PC, and with the PC community being pretty tight knit for the most part. You know, it makes sense that like especially people when they're playing competitive and they're seeing each other every week, like that makes perfect sense. But this is like this its own like organic scene being created by people who want to just, you know, top the leaderboard and be the best, and it's pretty fun.
Alright, just checking on the teams now. Looks like they still don't have a monster. Let's actually quickly jump back to the brackets, and let's see if there is any other games going on that we can jump in on. If you guys want to see something in particular in the round of 16, let us know in chat. If you want to see something else, maybe Salge versus the Xenomorphs, Epex Black versus Taw, that could be good, as well as Stage 3 versus Ninja Penguins. That should be another interesting series. Let's see here. I can probably contact Stage 3. All right, I'm gonna send Tonic a message real quick. Hold on 1 second. Hopefully they haven't actually started yet, and Tonic can respond. Hopefully they're just about to go. Alright, gonna check them real quick. And it looks like they are just about ready. Alright, so we have Stage 3's Hunters and Cajones. Who is the monster player for Ninja Penguins. Ninja Penguins, a relatively new team to the scene.
Good on the ropes.
Alright, just let me get them muted real quick. Yeah, Ninja Penguins, a relatively new team on the scene. They've been present in only a couple of the Go4Evolve Cups so far, but they've always done pretty well. And Stage 3 as well, a team that's been present in a number of weeks, I think, recently, or has at least attempted to. You know, I'm actually not seeing anything on their record yet. Let me go and check their record real quick. I thought that they had competed previously. I know Tonic seems to compete in almost every single cup as a sub for one team or another when his team can't make it. Tonic also the one who updates all our scores and helps keep track of everything in the background.
Tonic, praise Tonic. Give Tonic some love.
Yeah, let's see some hearts in chat here for Tonic, guys.
Let's see it. Hearts for Tonic. Show that love.
And I just remembered I also have to pull up my my editing program. I actually have to do Photoshop on the fly to change the team names and stuff. Let me just get that set up real quick.
If you mean by cold brew a iced latte, then yes, absolutely.
Iced latte. I wish I could go for that right now. Unfortunately, it's still a little bit too cold over here on the East Coast for an iced latte. But
we've been having
I did get a hot
phenomenal
coffee.
weather.
Yeah, I've heard.
It's been insane. It's been like summer. Oh, there it is. There's the love. There's the tonic love.
All right, and here we go. About to jump into the first game of the day. This is the ESL Go4Evolve Sunday Cup number 9, folks. We have Stage 3 versus Ninja Penguins. That is Stage 3's Hunters versus Cojones, who has picked Kraken today.
Craciones. Elite Craciones. Well, everybody's elite these days, huh?
Yeah, I think almost everybody has at least deleted their common picks, right?
Sure. That Elite Kraken skin, I think, is probably my favorite Elite skin in the entire game. It's just gorgeous.
I like the Elite Wraith the best, I think. I think that's my favorite. It makes the Wraith's claws almost look like bone claws or something, which I think looks pretty cool. Alright, and jumping into the game right now. Thank you all so much for all the follows and the donations, folks. If you have donated today, don't worry. We will give you recognition during breaks. We don't like to interrupt actual casts when matches are in progress. But thank you very, very much. Getting into this game right here, right now, for Team Ninja Penguins as the monster, we have Cojones, the Stage 1 Kraken. And headed into the dropship right now, Stage 3, the Hunter team, dropping in right now. We have Kexel on Assault, playing Markov. We have Tonic on Medic, playing Kyra. We have Erwin on Hank, or on Support, playing Hank. And for Trapper, we have Corin, playing Griffin.
So now, Cojones, he definitely lives up to that name, right? I mean, you've seen a lot of what you guys in the chat called YOLO evolves from this guy, and some definite YOLO play. Loving the name, loving the attitude this guy brings to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me, oh man, let me just fix this real quick, guys. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. And we do have sound again. All right. I will have to get on that sooner next time. Yeah, Cojones definitely does have some big cojones when he plays Evolve as the monster.
Yeah.
And that dome, we can hear it come down. Will he escape? No, he does not. So this is a Stage 1 dome.
Not a bad place to be. There's a lot of hidey holes here for the monster, a lot of places where he can dip out of sight. And he's just using that climb to stay on the side of the wall there. Full and almost full armor. He's in good shape if he can just kind of stay out of sight and out of damage.
Yeah, this is a great spot for him, I think. As long as he can keep some distance, he should be able to mitigate most damage done to him. This side is a little bit open, but look at that, hiding behind that tree right there, going to block line of sight and buy him a little bit of time. And then he can just duck right to the other side whenever he chooses.
Yeah, and he can pick his fights. As the Kraken, he can. He's got those nice long-range abilities, so he can dip in, dip out, pick fights with the Hunters, try and catch them slipping. Because a lot of times when you get in these domes, and the monster is doing its best to stay out of sight, you start getting really aggressive because you want to get in there and do damage, and you can catch hunters off guard who are being overly aggressive there. That's a good dome for the monster, though. He gets out of it without any loss to his health.
Yeah, and almost all the way to Stage 2 right now. If he can just get a little bit of distance, he should be able to get a Stage 2 evolve off before the dome comes off cooldown again.
Yeah, this is a good place to do it. He's moving back into the caves there, a very popular place, not only to feed, but to potentially turn the fight back on these guys if they get overly aggressive and overly pursuing.
Exactly, and that's something he's going to be looking out for, is just that over-aggression, that slight mistake that the Hunter team makes that he can exploit. But look at the Trapper, all by himself right here, out by the Tyrant, near the waterfall, just waiting. And he is going to be in the perfect position to get a second dome off once it comes off cooldown.
Yeah, he's. I don't know that he necessarily knows that he's right there, but if you're an aspiring trapper, pay attention to this. This is the trapper who is cutting off the monster, not chasing, and that's the key to being a successful trapper and getting the domes early on.
Oh, I think Cojones... No, he got him. That harpoon right at the end slowed him down just enough to prevent him from traversing outside of the dome. This is the second Stage 2 dome that we're going to see. And this is a very, very bad position for the monster. Anytime you get caught in more than one Stage 1 dome, it usually winds up going very poorly.
Yeah, although he does have this infinity loop there with that big rock pillar, which he can just dance around. If the dome was thrown a second earlier, it would have forced him to be out in the open. But he has a lot of places where he can move right now. He could literally just stay behind that massive rock pillar that he's heading towards now. And be in good shape. There's a lot of mines, though, laid down, which I like, because if he tries to engage with any of these hunters on the ground there, it's going to be game over for him. But so far, so good in keeping his distance and keeping his armor up.
Arrowing on Hank, coming in with that laser cutter, whittling down that armor, and the rest of the team is right there, ready to continue dishing out that damage, and he's going to have to continue to run. They will get at least a little bit of damage in here, I think. Oh, he may actually get away scot-free again. Wow.
Yeah, nice domes from the monster. Way to survive and just minimize the damage coming in. So far, so good. It looks like somebody's in a plant, maybe, or pounced.
Yeah, it looks like... Wait a minute.
Yeah, it was...
Perhaps Tonic. No.
It was
Assault.
Yeah, it was a plant. It was,
there we go.
Assault was a plant. Oh, man, how embarrassing. You know, competitive play here on the stage for the entire world to see, and you end up in a plant. Happens to the best of us, though.
First game of the day. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I remember in my first Evolve tournament ever, I actually lost a game from my team, and because of a Mega Mouth, in fact. And to this day, Insane and Guidance don't let me live it down.
I love it. That's awesome. Mega Mouse still terrify me. They still startle me. They still get me every now and then. I've become pretty wise to plants, and I can spot them pretty well. But Mega Mouse, man, they're dangerous. So he's staged up again, full armor, or excuse me, full health. So nothing lost in any of those two engagements. He does take a little bit of damage there from the orbital barrage that was nicely placed. But other than that, it's just a sliver of health lost.
Corrin, the Trapper here, though, perfect position to cut him off. Throws the dome, switches to the harpoon gun, and locks him in place. Cojones now advancing on Corrin, but Corrin's going to continue to back up.
Yep, that was a perfect play by the Trapper. Perfect catch to drop the dome and hit with the harpoon. I love seeing this competitive play because it's bringing out... you know, people in the chat are going to say, well, that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to drop the dome and hit him with the harpoon. That's, you know... but this is a chat that's watching competitive play every week, and so they're seeing just the basic play of these hunters, which is what makes them better than the rest of the world that playing this game. It's the fundamentals, right? So if you get the fundamentals down and you're hitting consistently with the fundamentals, you're going to be in good shape.
And Tonic goes down there, the medic right out in the open, unable to escape the continued aggression from the Kraken. Drop the orbital.
Look at his health, though. I mean, that's not a trade-off I want to take as the Kraken. He's down to just 2 bars of health here. Although the support goes down as well.
The Sloth finishes support. This is not good. This could actually go either way at this point. They need to be very, very careful from both parties, in fact. Cojones is going to run, though.
Yeah, but just back to just fundamentals. It's something I love to see, and it's what makes me appreciate the competitive players so much. Is that you and just the community as a whole who are getting to this advanced play is that you guys are nailing down the fundamentals, and it's just making you guys such solid players at the game. And when you have those solid fundamentals, then that's where you see like the crazy strategies and the crazy, advanced play come off of that. Good fight here. As you mentioned, this could go either way. They do manage to get support up, but he's being chased right now. This could be 2 strikes if he can't get away, but he indeed does. He gets the cloak off just in time.
They need to be very, very careful right now. Still 50 seconds left to go. Comes in with the aftershock. Does he hit anybody? No, he does not. And Kexel is right there with the lightning gun, ready to chase him off again. Cojones, though, smartly backing away before he loses all of his armor. Takes just a little bit of chip damage there.
Yeah, I don't think that's... although they are very, very low on health, and anything could lose this for them right now. They could run into the wrong bit of wildlife. They could be turned on by the Kraken here, and he could finish them. But that said, I would take this trade any day as the Hunters. Only the 2... You're going to have the medic coming back in. And just the 1 strike on support. Everybody else, if the medic can get back in and get them healed, will be at full strength.
Yeah, absolutely. This looked like they could have lost the game, Stage 2, in fact. But they did manage to chase him off with only 2 strikes. Definitely a worthwhile trade for them. And I think Cojones is going to play it smart now and just completely avoid the Hunter team and work on getting that Stage 3 evolve off.
Yeah, ideally, if he can get to Stage 3, he's going to get a bit of health, and that's going to be what he needs to have going into this final fight, because they've been doing really good damage, and that second encounter was just brutal for the monster, or rather third encounter. Yeah,
that was... I'm actually surprised that they managed to turn it around that well.
Yeah, that's the difference of catching someone with full armor, which was the case in those first 2 domes. Even though he was Stage 1, he managed to sustain that armor throughout the fights, and he came out all right. But catching him just after he staged up was the key to that. He has no armor, and that's just really the difference maker in this game so far. No Banshee Mines here. He's going full Vortex, full Aftershock, and full Lightning Strike. I like it. It does... pay homage to his name of Cojones. Aftershock is definitely a YOLO move in the game of Evolve.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we don't see it too often in the competitive scene, so a lot of the competitive players aren't that experienced in dealing with it.
That's been my very experience. I'm pretty... One of my strong point is not necessarily, being the best hunter on the team. My strong point is knowing the game to where I can coach my hunter team to wins, and lead them on the field of battle. And I'm pretty successful when I have a hunter team that I'm able to coach and talk to and play with. But we faced a Kraken recently who Stage 1'd us with 3-point Aftershock, and it was like chickens with the head cut off. Nobody knew what to do, and everybody was panicking and running around, and he was just blasting us, just one-shotting us with it. So as you mentioned, when you bring an ability that people aren't used to seeing on a regular basis, sometimes it's going to give you the upper hand just because of that.
Yeah, and some Krakens may be picking it now due to the Banshee Mine arming time nerf. Oh, comes in now, Aftershock, shielded though, and Corrin will stay alive. Great try there though. He now switches it off to Hank, the support.
Yeah, I think the Banshee Mine change was a very important one. As you guys know the most, you've been seeing so much Kraken in competitive play, and Krakens are obviously very successful. Some would argue too successful. So tuning his attacks, including the Banshee Mines, was very important to competitive play.
Aftershock almost taking Arrowing out, but Tonic right there on point to heal him. And then they do both go down immediately thereafter. This could be it. I don't know if they have the damage or survivability to finish him off right here. Kexel pops his shield at the last minute. This may be enough. I don't know. Corrin, no. No, they have to break it off now. They need to get away.
Yeah, that was
Kexel is right there.
That's it. Wow. That's a terrible place to fight. That's actually one of my least favorite places to fight, especially in Distillery. My absolute favorite, or least favorite place to fight is right there. There's too much water. There's the waterfall where there's like the massive open area underneath. All of that is a terrible place for a hunter trying to manage their jetpack to fight. I would have potentially waited to get him away from that area and try to fight him in more of an open, more level area.
Yeah, I completely agree. Fighting a Kraken in a space like that where there's a lot of small, high and low elevation can sometimes be very, very difficult. And that large gorge with the waterfall doesn't help at all either there. There's always the danger that you may get vortexed down there. And if you do, if it's someone important like the medic, I've seen the game fall apart in seconds after an event like that.
Yeah, not ideal. And the thing was too is that they weren't really set up for him in that other fight where they caught him at stage 2 with no armor. It was not only a better place to fight because it was a nice level area where they could set up, but they were ready for him as long as that trapper stayed alive after he domed him, which you mentioned he was just backing up and backing up and backing up. Once the trapper stayed alive, they were able to do massive damage to the monster because they were set up for it, but definitely not set up there.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you how quickly a team in a good position can lose in the game of Evolve. You know, just a couple misplays can instantly spell the end of the game. It's never over. Never over. Never quit. Never surrender. It's never over. I've won on less health than that, you know, and you just got to remember that when you're playing. Is everybody, if you play enough Evolve, you're gonna experience winning a game with just a sliver of health at some point, and you just need to remember that experience. And obviously, you know, don't take that experience meaning that you can just do whatever you want, and you know, you're not going to suffer any consequences. But you can definitely get out of really sticky situations and come back and win. Absolutely. And it looks like we do have confirmation from the ESL admins. It is a best of 5. Ignore the email to any players listening in right now. Ignore the email. It is a best of 5, folks, if you haven't heard already. So we will be going with the standard format that we've had for the past 2 months. And that's good news. That means more Evolve for the players, more Evolve for everyone watching, and just better for the scene all around. If you don't know, now you know. All right, they should be starting game number 2 in just a minute, and the other side of these games should be going on as well right now. Let me send a quick message to Tonic and see if he knows how his monster player fared against Ninja Penguin's Hunters. Okay, just waiting for a reply now. He should be getting it any second. And I figure it's easier to ask him than the team captain, because the team captain is probably busy doing picks and bans with the monster player. Team captain stuff. Yeah, all that team captain stuff. Yeah. And thank you all so much for tuning in, folks. If this is your first time here and you do want to support the channel, just make sure to hit that follow button down below. It's completely free, and you will get notified anytime we do go live for this event or anything else in the future, the Stage 3 podcast, or any of the weekday community games that we do with pro players from around the scenes, where you can play with the pros. Cajones saying that they have to wait. No. Let me see if I have Cajones on Steam. Okay, and they will be continuing. Good. Just sent the message to Cajones there. Apparently apparently his hunter team, the Ninja Penguins hunter team, crashed early on in their first game. So they did restart that game, so that game is being delayed by a little bit due to a restart. But hopefully things go well for them and they do not crash again.
Indeed. That was a good first game. Good little wake up.
Yeah, absolutely. Great way to wake up in the morning with a game that started off relaxing and got pretty intense towards the end. I'm just checking my Steam messages here. I've got a ton of them. Okay, so I guess the ESL is changing their mind again, and it's now switched to best of 3. Okay, so we will have to wait for the other side to finish to see what happens. Interesting choice right there. All right, let's see if we can get in on any other games. Hold on just a moment, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right. Let's.
All right, and we're back already, folks. Here we are, right into the next game in progress. Oh, let me turn this music down. There we go. Here we go. On the loading screen, this game is in progress. You know, I forgot. We can just jump right in. So, we'll just jump right into the game in progress and catch the end of this series. Looks like...
Hey, Daisy Cam.
Yeah, Daisy Cam. Whoa. Okay. Over to the Kraken player. For Stage 3, we have Esoteric. And for Ninja Penguins, for their Hunter team, on Assault, we have Nightwayne playing Markov. On Medic, we have Savvy playing Kyra. On Support, we have Spanners playing Sunny. Finally, that's awesome. I love seeing that. We'll talk about that in a bit. And on Trapper, we have Iru playing Maggie.
Sweet.
But let's look at the star of the day, the new Tier 4 right here, DB.
Yeah. Sunny in the house.
Yeah.
A lot of fun to play with, a lot of fun to play as. Can be quite the challenge for the monster.
Absolutely. She is by far my favorite hunter, and I think many hunters feel that way. And I know many monsters absolutely hate her.
Yeah, she can multitask, and that's what's absolutely most important about her, is that she has the ability to put that shield drone down and then walk away from it and use the rest of her kit. And that's not the norm in Evolve. So the fact that her teammates can be shielded while she's doing her thing and even adding to damage is key. Also, I like her ability to keep the Trapper safe in engagements in multiple ways. So there's the shield drone, which can keep the Trapper shielded if it's being focused. There's the jetpack booster, which can help get the Trapper out of harm's way. And then, of course, the cloak. And of course that works on, you know, on all the teammates, but I think most specifically just keeping that Trapper up and alive in domes is crucial.
Yeah, and she's so good at it too, you know, and I think that's one of the things that I really, really like about her as a support, is you actually feel like you're supporting your team. I think many times on Cabot, I don't really feel like I'm supporting so much as just doing additional damage, whereas Sunny, you just feel like you have a plethora of ways to help out.
Yeah. Yeah, Cabot's good to help track the monster with his dust tagging and give the trapper that edge. But yeah, once you're in the fight, then that's a different story. Your main objective there is to help do extra damage. So let me ask you this: from what you've been seeing, is how's the cloak being used the most in competitive play? Because what I've always tried to explain and what I've always tried to encourage is just constantly popping the cloak and having that combat cloak going on and just keeping your team in and out of cloak. But a lot of people, I see them just leaving it till that moment where they need to run, potentially.
Absolutely. Many teams still do that. One of the best teams in the scene, no longer competitive, Team DTR, Defend the Relay, who also has a website, defendtherelay.com, which you guys should check out if you want to learn more about Evolve. They actually follow your train of thought now. Initially, there wasn't any team, including them, who was using it like that. But DTR now fully supports consistently using the cloak as much as possible during a dome. And, you know, Esoteric... no. Oh, Nightwing does go down. Esoteric may still be able to take this game if he can keep them from getting Nightwing up, but he's unable to. He's got to back off and get away as fast as possible. Only about a bar and a half of health left.
Yeah, and he's taking that burn damage on the way out. But yeah, so it's something that like I've always tried to stress as being super important, because the cooldown, and I think that was like the argument, right? Is like people worried about the cooldown on the cloak and not having it when they need it, but the cooldown is too quick for you to not be just... I just constantly pop it when I'm playing. I pop it sometimes just to escort my team through dangerous wildlife. I'm big on using the cloak as much as possible. They do catch him here in the Evolve, though.
And this is bad.
Yep. He's going to have no armor, a little bit more health, but this is a good catch from the Hunters.
Yeah, brilliant play right there. Nightwing jumping right in front of his face, getting a full clip or more right on his head, but he takes him out right away. He pops the shield too late. And Esso's going to get away once again, but, you know, he lost all the health that he gained. And switching over to the medic now, looks like that they will be delayed a little bit, so he will get away.
Yeah, that's a shame that they didn't get the Trapper in there to get him locked down. Something you would assume that they could do pretty easily with Sunny on the team and the jetpack boost.
Yeah, maybe they had to use the entire jetpack boost earlier to traverse the big gorge with the waterfall and the river.
Yeah.
Around the center of the map. That's a possibility. But I know that Nightwing was very, very far ahead of his team, and no one else was with him as the assault.
It's not a bad thing, though. I mean, he is going to be able to potentially get some armor here and armor up, but at the same time, though, he negated that entire Evolve health gain there, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and now he just needs to get away and get that full armor bar and hopefully look for a pickoff. You know, at this point, with this low of health, what you really need to do as the monster is just kind of go in and out, touch and go, and just wait for the Hunters to make a mistake. You have to have the patience to wait for that right moment. Let's see here. We have 11 minutes on the game clock right now. So still plenty of time for Esoteric to bait out a mistake from this Hunter team. And it looks like they are setting up near the relay. That's a pretty wide defense, though. Oh, you know, they may be transitioning away. This is an interesting choice of a spot if they choose to defend here. I'm curious as to why they would try and set up around here. This, to me, this almost seems like a worse spot to fight a Kraken in than right in the center.
Oh, over on the on the building there.
Yeah. Well, if you look at where they are, it looks like they're
Yeah.
focused around this area right here.
Yeah, that little building, that the assault's on right now, it actually used to have no fence on the front of it, so you could go inside there and just wreak havoc on the monster's line of sight. Big hit, though. This assault needs to be careful. He's very close to going down again.
Yeah, Lightning Strike almost takes him out, but Savvy on Medic manages to get him back up to full health in no time at all. The shield comes out, protecting Spanners right there. You know, that was unfortunate. An auto attack hit Spanners and triggered Sunny's shield drone to protect her from the Lightning Strike. So even if that Lightning Strike had hit, it wouldn't have done any damage because of the drone.
Yeah, what you mentioned there, their decision to set up over there, I totally agree with it, because you can still, like, the idea of their setup here is that they have those two rock pillars to stand on top of, and there's in that triangle shape that you want to see, and it's a good setup. But at the same time, you can still cover that power relay area from these distant areas, so they don't necessarily need to like bring their full team in here. Plus, there's a lot of trees and things that are going to cut off line of sight when they're trying to protect each other.
That's true. I guess the trees go both ways, but that's the main reason why I was thinking I don't like it. Because a Kraken can kind of hide in the trees, and it just makes it very hard to hit a mobile Kraken. But they will transition the dome right around the relay, and Iru goes down right away. Wow. Esoteric may have that mistake that he was looking for, drops the Vortex, trying to knock Daisy away.
Yeah, there must have been no communication there of the dome, because the rest of the team wasn't even ready. They were completely outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that was unfortunate, and we
That's
see
a big
how
mistake.
fast Iru went down. Great for Eso, though. Esoteric now backing off, going to kill that Sloth and get back up to full armor and come right back in for another attempt. And this is exactly what I was talking about. This is what he needs to do. He needs to go in and out of combat just like this, waiting for those small mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I mean, in this case, stage 3 power relay fight, the Trapper is definitely, you know, the least important of all the hunters here. But still, though, you don't want to give easy mistake strikes like that to the monster.
No, absolutely. You definitely don't want to do something like that. And I like what Eso did there. Drops the Banshee Mines. And, you know, with proper play, you can actually trick that Sunny shield drone right there into shielding someone that you don't want it to shield, and then drop a Lightning Strike on a target that you do. Drops the Lightning Strike on Sunny. Now, Sunny backs out of the way herself, though. Wow.
Yeah, that was a nice juke. That was a beautiful juke. She has set it up so that the shield drone can hit her from where it was, at least. It looks like the Kraken took it out. But no, she drops it on the other side now and goes back. So she's just going back and forth between those two rock pillars, setting up the shield drone. But yeah, as you mentioned, the shield drone, you can get one free hit on any of the hunters before the shield drone starts shielding it. So as you mentioned, if you hit that Vortex or a Banshee Mine on a different hunter, it's going to focus that hunter, and then you can drop that Lightning Strike that you said and get a free shot.
All right, and it looks like Eso is going to come back in again. Banshee Mine right on the shield drone, takes it out immediately. That's great for Eso, but you know, he needs to actually make a play happen soon. He's eaten so much of the food on this map that it's going to be slim pickings for him to armor up again. He has maybe enough food for one more full series of armor bars.
Slim pickings. Speaking of slim pickings, you think we're going to see a slim pick today?
I hope so. I actually really like Slim. It can be difficult in combat. I think we may see him if anyone goes Behemoth, potentially.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about against any of the other monsters, though.
He's really tough against the Kraken because he relies on constantly doing damage to fill up that heal burst. If you can constantly do damage, then you can be a true combat medic right up in the monster's face for the most part. But yeah, you're absolutely right. On some of the other monsters, he's going to have a hard time with, especially at this high-level play.
Yeah. He may be okay against Goliath, and you know, due to the picking order, because Medic is picked first, I think the only chance that we have of seeing a Slim will actually be against a monster player who everyone knows always picks Goliath, like Girthzilla or like Legendary.
Yeah, if you can sort of guess the pick, you can guess the perfect lineup against it, right?
Right. All right, and that 3-minute timer now coming down. And Esoteric now going in for what could be the final battle. Lightning Strike on Nightwing. Nightwing goes down right away. This is huge for Esoteric. He could take it right here, folks. Drops down with the Aftershock. Doesn't hit anything with that Aftershock. Oh, I know he does get Iru. Okay. And Lightning Strike may finish off Iru right here. Misses Iru.
Oh, tough.
Auto attacks come out
down there at least, so he is eating those mines as he goes through. So that was nice placement, even though the assault went down and out. Those mines are still continuing to do damage as he's dead.
Wow, Heal Burst keeps Iru alive, misses the Lightning Strike. Another shield drone gonna protect this Aftershock, and Esso has no armor left. Savvy down low, Iru down low, protected by the shield, and Esso is flailing around looking for a target to take out. He finally goes for the shield drone, but the shield drone is already replaced. Esoteric, only a bar of armor left. He needs to get Sunny out of the game right now. One more mini nuke will take him out for good, folks.
And the medic just so on point up into that point of going out. And down goes the Trapper as well. That strike that he got comes into play, but that's it.
Sunny finishes Esoteric off,
man.
Winning the best of 3 series for Ninja Penguins. Wow, what a finish.
That was phenomenal. And you see that strike coming into play on the Trapper there. The Trapper goes down. The medic finally went down, but the medic just on point up until that moment there.
Yeah, that was great play by both teams. And, man, that could have gone either way right up till that very end bit right there.
Yeah,
that was
and
so
it goes
close.
To show, like, you know, when you're playing Assault, get those mines down, because even if you go out, there still is an opportunity for your teammates to use them, and that goes for any ability that carries over after your death. So the shield drone, you know what I mean? Make sure that you have a shield drone, even if you feel like you're about to be taken out. Get that shield drone out. Or if you're slim and you feel like you're about to be taken out, get that heal bug on somebody that needs it before you go. All those things are going to continue to work for you once you're dead.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Ninja Penguins will advance now. Let's see how Team Salge is doing. I'm going to send them a quick message. Actually, maybe... Let's see. We'll see if we can get some eyes on you. I'm just going to send them a message real quick. All right, and I think Practical won, yeah. Okay, so they're in Game 2 for Team Salge. Maybe we can get in on those.
Savvy. Very savvy in that one.
Very savvy, absolutely. Very savvy with his positioning and his placement for those heals.
Yeah, I'd love to see that that triangular setup, because I've actually coached sports, and so many sports, basketball, lacrosse, they all use that triangle setup in offense and in defense. And it's a proven technique. It's a proven way to spread out your teammates to mitigate the damage being done to you and to be able to cover the entire area that you're trying to cover. And when you see that in Evolve, it normally works very well for the Hunters.
Yeah, and we saw it right there. Great positioning allowed them to take that win off Esso in what was a very, very close game that could have gone either way at the end. Stay tuned, folks. We will be right back in just a moment. We're just going to get set up for the second series of games. It looks like it will be Team Salge versus KPV coming up next. If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that follow button. You will get notified anytime we go live, whether it's for any of these Sunday Cup events, the Saturday podcast, or any of the weekday games with the pros and viewers in chat. So make sure you tune in for those as well. You can also follow us on Twitter and on YouTube in the links down below. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Ooch, ooch, ooch.
And we do have a donation, $5 from Smokey Terran 93. Let's have fun with my highlight of the week. Keep up the great work. I hope to see great games. Thank you so much, Smokey Terran 93. You are a true boss, good sir. Can we get some love, some hearts in chat? Doesn't matter where you get those hearts from, folks. Let's get some hearts in chat for Smokey Terran 93. We'll be right back with more amazing Evolve action. All right, we're going to go live in just a minute, folks, but we have another donation. Drathic, $10. Keep up the great work. You are exactly what this PC scene needs for Evolve. Thank you so much, Drathic. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. You have been one of the longtime viewers of the channel, man. Thank you so much, dude. Let's get some hearts in chat for Drathic, guys. And we will be going into the next game right now. This will be Team of Verse versus Apex White, finishing up their third game right now. Let me see if I can get in on that. Oh, perhaps we can't. Okay. Let's see what else there is then. Stay tuned just a moment longer, folks. All right. So looks like we are going to get Team Solge in for the next one. Oh man! And what sucks too is this is gonna. Alright, and we are back, guys. Welcome back, DB. How was the break?
Break was good. I went and got a Rockstar energy drink out of the fridge. So
nice.
I'm waking up.
That's good. Yeah, the coffee is starting to wake me up, too. I still have an entire pot up in the kitchen.
So coffee for me is... it doesn't give me that edge. It just it gets me to like back to normal. You know what I mean?
Back to normal.
Yeah. So the coffee gets me back to normal, and then we go with something else, and it usually does the trick.
Yeah, I usually don't do energy drinks too much unless it is a Red Bull. I don't know what it is. I love Red Bull. But I haven't had that in a while. I've mostly just been sticking to coffee lately. Okay, so it looks like I've got the graphics all updated on time, too. Let's kill the music. And it looks like we are jumping into game number 1, folks. This will be Team Solge versus My KPV. Now, I'm pretty excited to see this. One of the players on Team Solge, their Assault, in fact, is a free agent currently subbing in. That's Avexen, one of my good buddies. We've been playing together almost every single night for the past week or two now. And Avexen is an awesome Assault, formerly from Team Elevate, in fact.
Sweet. That's the Bog Kraken, yeah?
Yeah, that is the Bog Kraken.
That's a good-looking skin, too.
You know, before the Magma Kraken, that was my favorite Kraken skin.
Oh, man. Hey, what's up, cojones? Good games earlier. Good games. Everybody always says I either look stoned, tired, or hungover on here. So give me a break, guys. This is Sunday morning, and I'm on vacation.
There you go. He's on vacation, guys. You got to give him a break. But, you know, what about all three? Could it be all three?
No, absolutely. I do not condone any of that stuff.
You don't condone being tired?
No, absolutely not. Tired is the work of the devil. Yeah, I do have my own Twitch channel. For those of you asking, just if you right-click on my name here.
We'll get one of the mods to post it in chat. Guys, if one of the mods could post DB's Twitch channel in chat, make sure you give him a follow, guys. He does stream late in the evenings, pretty often throughout the week.
Late in the evenings, yeah, especially for an East Coaster.
Yeah. Yeah, like 3 a.m. my time. All right, we are in game number 1. This is My KPV's Monster versus Team Salge's Hunters, who just dropped in. Let's cover them real quick. As the Kraken player from My KPV, we do have Inexorable. And going to the Hunter team, we have Avixon on Assault, playing Markov. We have Akath on Medic, playing Kyra. We have Practical One on Support, playing Hank. We have Shwazy on Trapper, playing Maggie. And of course, as the lovable Trapjaw, we have Daisy playing Daisy.
The pink Daisy. By the way, I love the character introductions that you're doing with the Observer tool, so definitely keep that up. I think it's really cool to go through each of the characters like that. Something that I personally had not thought of, so I keep up that. The character introductions is good stuff. And the Daisy cam, of course, is good, but... yeah, very cool to be able to go through and introduce each of these guys that are putting in so much work to practice and to come play competitively. These guys are dancing around Crowbill Canyon here.
Yeah, and we can see Daisy and the Trapper sticking together, but that pack of Reavers going for Shwazy here. Shwazy doing what he can to avoid damage. Oh, what is he going to do? He's still got the dome out. He hasn't switched to the machine gun to actually shoot them down. Okay, now he does. They're going to get a little bit of damage in on him, though. Oh, nice dodge there.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Inexorable just ducks right by the rest of the team.
Oh, man. Just, yeah, I think what he was just trying to keep that dome out so he could drop it, assuming that the monster was going to push through that side of the canyon. But instead, the monster goes the other way. And it's important to note that, you know, there's so much sound that goes into hunting the monster, and you know, to not want to give your position away by shooting at the Reavers makes a lot of sense, but he had to at the last second there.
Alright, and look at that. My KPV now all the way on the other side of the relay building, crossing right over what we like to call Tim Allen, that tractor right there.
Nice. Nice. I like that. This map, being the oldest map, the first map we ever showed off, is the map that we have the most nicknames for, but never had a nickname for the tractor there.
Yeah.
Always just called it the dump truck, I think.
It's one of most Monster players' favorite places to evolve on this map. They go right around the corner of the building and stand on the little ledge overlooking the tractor. And going back all the way to the DGL beta, my old team, Team Redundancy Squad, the one that won that beta, we've called it Tim Allen ever since then.
That's pretty funny. Of course, there is the potential, and you know, only in games with elite wildlife buffs on, of course, but that's where that potential elite Crowbill sloth is as well. So definitely a popular spot.
All right, and we do have a stage 2 evolve coming out. Switching now to the Trapper, to Shwazy. Let's see his perspective. The camera will be locked for a few minutes as Inexorable selects his picks. He's not going to make it in time. Inexorable is going to be out of that cocoon, and he's going to get away.
You never want to see that if you have a straight line of hunters, that the Trapper is the last one in the line. That's not ideal for getting the monster in the dome. This is the better pursuit here, getting the sort of crow's flight across the map and trying to get him. Was that Daisy getting...
I think that was Daisy. Oh, maybe Akath.
No,
that was Akath, yeah.
It's a Venom Hound, getting pounced by the Venom Hound back there.
Yep.
But yeah, getting this crow's flight across the map to try and get the dome on him, you definitely want to cut off as the Trapper instead of chasing. But he's moving along as the Kraken.
And he's actually doubling back a little bit here. He could be putting himself in a corner if he's not careful. And he doesn't have full armor yet. This is a dangerous spot to be as a monster. What is he going to do? Yeah, they're already shooting at him.
this could be a good catch, but the angle of pursuit just not enough, and the Trapper again going to try and cut off. This is a good place to do it. He's got that high elevation, being on the top of the factory here, and there's this nice little path along the side that you see the Trapper taking. If he can manage his jetpack to get across there, he's going to be able to cut him off, but this is going to be really close.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to have the distance necessary. I think it's just going to be a little bit too much. Yeah, and Inexorable is just going to duck back the other way now.
And that's where you need the rest of your team trying to push him towards you. But right now he doesn't care. He's got enough armor to just go right past them. Although he's getting stuck up against the wall there, and that could have been an opportunity to do some damage to his health.
All right, and Inexorable does drop down with that Aftershock. Yeah, Sneak Pounce now on the Practical One. Support about to go down, knocked off by Markov's Lightning Gun, but Support does go down. Aftershock now going to prevent any of the additional healing that Kyrie did, as well as doing additional damage to Avexen. The Dome comes down, Avexen down to 10% life. The Vortex knocks him back 2%, and healed by ACAT at the last minute. Another Aftershock misses Avexen. And look at those healing grenades continuing to heal up. The Assault switches now to ACAT. Shield protecting ACAT. ACAT at 50%. And Inexorable is forced airborne once again. Drops down low with that Aftershock. But still, just not enough damage being dealt out to this Hunter team.
Yeah, the Aftershock, that's the drawback of the Aftershock, is that you are just sort of stationary in that almost Jesus-like position there in the air. You can move down fairly well, but I want to see that orbital right there. I want to see that when he goes into that Aftershock, because he's pretty much locked down to that position, and that's the time when you want to hit the orbital.
Absolutely. You can do so much damage to an Aftershock Kraken in that position. Inexorable now down to 1/3 of his life, drops in for an Aftershock. This is a very dangerous spot to be in. This Hunter team is doing a great job splitting up in all directions anytime an Aftershock drops in. Great teamwork, great foot play by this Hunter team. And man, Inexorable almost lost the game right there. He backed out at the last minute. And the chase is back on once again. Look at Trapper cutting all the way around the other side of the building, 100 meters away from Inexorable.
Yeah, that's not a bad trade-off for the Hunters. It looked like the Monster was going to come out the winner on that when he got the support down early on. But the Hunters recovered pretty well. Only a strike on support and Daisy, and for a lot of health loss by the Monster.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very tough for Inexorable to recover from. And based on where he's going right now, he needs to be careful. This is one of those positions where it can either be great to dodge away from a Hunter team, or it can be very, very easy for them to dome. It looks like Shwazy is going around the long way, though. They do not realize where he is, so he will get away here. And if he can put enough distance and get to the other side of the arena, he may be able to get a full Stage 3 Evolve off uncontested. This could be exactly what he needs right now.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. They are very far behind.
Look at that. They're all going in under Cloak, but they don't realize how far away he is.
No, they think they're a lot closer. That entire time, that entire pursuit, I feel like they thought they were right behind him. Yeah, they have no idea where he is right now.
Yeah, they thought that they were within smell distance, but they were really over 100 meters away the entire time, and they see it now.
Yeah, now they got eyes on him. But that's a chase now. This is a chase, and this is not the situation you want to be in.
Exactly.
As the Hunters.
Yeah, this is a Trapper chase, with the Trapper leading the charge too. Inexorable now going to jump right over the massive ravine here. This is just one of those great pieces of geometry or terrain on this map that a Monster can use to really slow the Hunter team down.
Yeah, the Pit of Death, we call that.
Yeah, the Pit of Death with the Tyrant at the bottom.
Yeah, there's no reason that you should ever be in that pit as a Hunter. Ever. And that's, like you said, the monster can take advantage of that and lead them across there. And it really does slow you down unless you have the jetpack skills to just kind of platform across.
Yeah, and look at the positioning now. As soon as Inexorable finishes feeding here, he can duck right over support and assault right here and get away scot-free once again. And that looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. He may delay a little bit. He does have the armor to delay. He's just going to wait until he sees where the trapper is and then back away. Yeah, and I think he sees Shwayze coming in now, so he's just going to back off and head right into the jungle where the crashed ship is on the other side of the map.
So were you watching, or you were in the game? Were you in the game on Friday where the monster evolved on the crashed UFO in the trees?
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yes, and then he dropped through?
Yeah, that was the first time I've ever, and as I mentioned before, this is the oldest map. This is the map we ever showed off. And that was the first time I've ever seen that.
Yep, you can see the Kraken, Inexorable, just passed by that ship. Yeah. And it is possible. I've seen it done before with Wraiths, and I've even seen Hunters get up there as well.
Yeah, we've gotten up there as Hunters. Like, as a Hunter, I knew it was up there, and we've perched up there before, but never really found a reason to use it. There's not ever really a good time to be up there and trying to fight a monster.
Yeah.
But never seen a monster do it to evolve. That was phenomenal.
Dome comes down, locking him in. Stage 2 once again. This is not good for Inexorable. And he drops that Aftershock, but little damage done to anyone but Daisy.
Yeah, that's a tough miss there. I mean, with Aftershock, you are, as the chat likes to call it, the YOLO moves. You are going all in when you go in with Aftershock. So you need to hit with it. If you're not hitting with Aftershock, you're taking a big, big risk.
Yeah, Practical One now switching to that laser cutter. Just going to go full DPS on him, and, you know, if they dish out enough damage now, they could finish him right here in this dome, and I think the team realizes that, so they're going to be in full damage mode. 3 bars of armor left, and only 2 bars of health. Still quite a bit of time left on this dome, but, you know, Avixon can't get in range to dish out consistent damage to Inexorable. Okay, now he does, that lightning gun coming out, but the dome comes down. So he's going to get away, scot-free, in fact. And he's got a full Stage 3 Evolve meter. So this is what I'm talking about. Right now, I would almost put money down on the fact that he is going to head right for Tim Allen, and he's going to evolve right next to that big tractor.
I love it. That's funny. Yeah, let's see. Where was that? Darken Wolf says they call it the Sarlacc pit over there, which I think is also a funny name for it. The pit
definitely can feel like a Sarlacc pit. And there it is right there. That evolved right on Tim Allen.
Yeah, that's a good spot because you have a lot of cover. You're not going to get an orbital barrage right on top of you. And there he goes. He takes the 1 Banshee mine for a little utility there. And just the 2 Aftershock. Which that's the thing with Aftershock. Like, you need to, if you're going to use Aftershock, I'm going all 3 points because I don't want to mess about in the middle of a group of hunters without taking a 3-point Aftershock personally.
Yeah, I fully agree. You want that maximized damage. I would almost prefer 2 points in Vortex instead, and then 3 points in Aftershock if you're going that build. One thing I really do like, though, is that 1 point in Banshee Mines, because you can still use those Banshee Mines to kind of bobble the hunters into the air to stunlock them effectively. And it'll allow you to get additional damage in from other sources of attacks. Alright.
He's just going to armor up.
Yeah, and this Hunter team now looks like they're setting up to defend the relay. Going to finish off the Sloth, get it out of combat while they still have the chance. But a Vexen, wow, almost getting wrecked by that Sloth. Now, that was definitely a scary situation right there for him. All right, and Inexorable just finishing up his feeding over here in the jungle. Looks like slim pickings right now. Oh, he does find that Tyrant, though.
That's a good 4-meat snack. That's more breakfast than I've had.
Yeah, I think I had a half a meat snack for breakfast, and that was it. No, technically I had bread, not meat. All right, and it looks like they're going to set up outside of the relay now. Nice spot, I think, to fight an Aftershock Kraken. You don't want to fight it inside where you're going to be locked in place.
Yeah.
So this will be a pretty good spot. Yeah, we can see Practical One up top on this cliff ledge right here.
Yeah, as long as you have a spot where you can get line of sight on the relay and just knock them off there if you need to. Other than that, yeah, you definitely want to fight.
And look at the positioning of Akath right here. So right on top of Tim Allen here, and landmines all around. So when the Kraken goes on Akath to try and take out that medic, he's going to kite the Kraken around the tractor in circles over all of the landmines. All right. And here comes the Kraken, that massive foreboding presence, advancing on the Hunters right here. Vortex on Practical One. It looks like he's found his first target, and he continues the auto-attack assault. Drops the Lightning Strike, hits Practical One, 10% life. He drops in with that Aftershock, but Practical One gets out right away.
Yeah, Hank's got to be your target here. I'm going to try and remove him first, unless I can get the medic like he's focusing now, but... Yeah. With that shield, Hank needs to be the primary target. He's also got the strike, so he should be able to go down pretty well, but you don't want to mess about right now and juggle around onto different targets. You want to get on that support and take him down.
Yeah, Lightning Strike on Practical One into Aftershock. Hits half the team right there. Vortex onto a Vexen. This is bad for the Hunter team, but the Orbital comes down. He's got to be careful. He has no armor left. He could be destroyed any minute now if he's not careful. Another Aftershock, Practical One, down to a sliver of life. A single auto attack will finish him. And it does. Drops a Banshee Mine on the corpse to prevent the res. Vexen, though, with that lightning gun, and he drops in another Aftershock. Vexen almost down.
Oh, big
wow,
right there.
Double kill right there. Inexorable could finish them all right now. Goes for Akath. The dome comes down.
Maggie should be able to finish this, I would say, but maybe not.
He's got to be careful. Last one left. A Sneak Pounce will finish it.
Wow.
They may finish him with the guns. They don't. They don't. The pistols just so not enough.
Very close there.
Wow. Wow, that was an intense finish right there.
Yeah.
And I forgot that they still had the chance to finish him with the pistols. I've seen that happen once before.
And look at on the recap there on the left-hand side, the health bars and how they dip, the peaks and the valleys there. You can see a couple of the Hunters barely even, like the Trapper, for example, it took that bit of damage in the middle there and then nothing else the entire match. So it really came down to that final fight, and then you just see them all drop.
Yeah. Yeah, great performance by Inexorable there. Let's see who is up next. I just have to find their monster player on my friends list, and we can jump in on that game. Yeah, that should be, I believe, Striker X3, if I'm not mistaken. Let me send the team captain a message. All right, and I don't see anyone from KPV either. Oh, let me see. Oh, here they are. Okay, so we do have Memphis and Vax. I'm just going to join right in on them. We're going to get right into that game right now.
Chat loving the game so far, and I have to say that I am too. You guys definitely make it worth getting up early on a Sunday morning, I have to say.
Yeah, these have been some exciting games so far.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
All right, so they should be starting this game in just a moment. They are probably just doing the picks and bans based on the results of the last game. While we're waiting for that to get started, let's quickly check the brackets right now. All right. Oh, and and I also remembered that I've had the semifinals tag up all day so far on
forward thinking
on these games right here.
That's why you
whoops. No, we're fixing that right now. Don't worry, folks. It is not the semifinals. And we'll also update the score while we're waiting for that to start. Yeah, we have a bunch of things in the works right now, but for right now, folks, I do actually have to do Photoshop editing on the fly, which does take a little bit longer, but that's good. Okay, so we're all set there. And let's see. Looks like no results yet from Team of Verse versus Epex White. Eyes on You and Natural Selection in the round of 16. No results on that game either. Epex Black does defeat Taw, and Ninja Penguins does defeat Stage 3. So they will be facing off in the quarterfinals. We have... Actually, I can probably pull this up. There we go. Yeah. We have No Hope versus Survivors of Sheer. Survivors of Sheer taking the win, and Team Sith Evolve beating AP Phoenix, going up against Survivors of Sheer. Team Sith Evolve losing to Survivors of Sheer. That was a little bit unexpected. Congrats to Chromo, Fluffy Burrito, Dezu, Eternal Noob, Darken, or Darken Wolf, as he's called on Steam. And you know what? In Sky303, who we played with during the charity stream, in fact.
Yeah.
And we've been hanging out with him on TeamSpeak for the past couple days now.
From him playing with you guys, I just assumed that he was a regular in your group or your crew or your...
No.
So yeah, definitely good to see.
Yeah, I actually friended him there and gave him the TeamSpeak info.
That's awesome.
He's been playing with us for the past few days now.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been a lot of fun doing that, and that's actually one of the biggest struggles for me on Fridays is putting together the cast of players for our streams, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that we obviously, we're working on, or not me specifically, but our team there is working on, a good amount of different games, and they have day jobs, of course, and so getting them to pull off of their day jobs and to come in and play Evolve is tricky. And then the other side of that is that the skill level of you guys, the community, is so much better than what we can bring anymore on our end. So,
yeah.
Bringing in the community to play on the stream has been phenomenal. And if we can help make introductions like that, I think that's amazing.
All right, and here we go into game number 2 right now. Solj versus my KPV. KPV taking the win right now. We will be getting Eyes on You a bit later in the day, folks. And first, we have a, what do you call it? I can't really say a troll donation, a joke donation. CEO of Rockstar Energy Drinks, $5. Thanks, DB Sinclair, for promoting our products in a viral environment. We highly consider prolonging that commercial contract.
Nice.
That, of course, being a complete joke.
Yeah, I think if it was actually from them, it would probably be more than the $5, but who knows?
The thought is appreciated, folks. Thank you all so much. And if this is your first time tuning in, if you do want to support the channel, you can do so for free by just hitting that follow button down below. You will get notified anytime we go live for the Go4Evolve Sunday Cup, any of the community events throughout the week where you, as the viewer, can play with pros from the competitive scene, or the Stage 3 podcast, which is a bi-monthly podcast we host with special guests every 2 weeks. Oh, and they're backing out. Okay, maybe a little bit of difficulty there. Let's pull up our faces again real quick while they get that set up. So what do you think, DB? Do you think Solj can pull a win off and tie it up and bring us to a final game?
Absolutely. I want to see it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I hope so.
Whatever it takes to get you donations, I'm all about it. You want to see me dance?
No, we don't need to go that far on today's cast. We do appreciate all the love and all the follows, all the donations, folks. Thank you all so much. We will have this next game for you right now. All right, selecting observer mode. Let's get into the lobby.
There we go. Ooh, MedLab.
Nice. We have yet to cast a MedLab game today. And, MedLab is one of my favorite maps. I know most of the teams love it as well. Now, let's see what they're going to pick. I wonder if they're going to mix things up. I think we have seen all Kraken so far. I know eventually later today we will see some Goliath as well from some of the classic Goliath-only players. But what do you think? Do you think we'll see some Behemoth?
I hope so.
Me too. Behemoth is kind of tricky right now due to how slow he is. And I think most monster players just haven't had enough time to practice him. So we may not. It will be a little bit rough, I think.
I've seen some good Behemoth play on this map specifically, so it could be good. Could be good to see.
All right, and we have a hide pick. Nice. I love seeing that hide. Awesome. Let's see what else we get. Keep in mind, folks. Okay, they are just tricking us yet again with these picks. More issues. All right, and this will be KPV's Hunter team versus Team Salge's Monster. And I believe Striker is well-rounded. I know he does play Kraken a lot, but I believe he can play some of the other monsters equally as well. Yeah, this will be his first match in a tournament, if I'm not mistaken, or his first tournament that he's participated in. Team Salge has already won some games today.
It's awesome.
But yeah, it's great to see new players being able to play so well with already established teams like this.
So Verse still yet to play, looks like?
Versus games, I think, are just finishing up. Yeah, for some reason, it always takes them a while to get their games set up and going, so it's very, very tough to actually cast them. Hopefully they make it far this week. That way we can get them in the semis and the finals.
Yeah, you could potentially see Eyes on You at Verse. That would be a good matchup.
Yeah, that would be a great series to cast. And I don't see the brackets updated yet. Let me refresh that real quick while we're on the loading screen. Okay, so Eyes on You does defeat Natural Selection, folks. Last I heard, Averse was in a tiebreaker with Epex White. If they take the win there, Averse will advance to fight Eyes on You.
And we're going to have a Cabot.
Wow, interesting choice there. That's some very, very aggressive play. All right, and here we are in game number 1 right now. Just need to send a quick message to Eyes on You, DB, if you can, if you want to talk for just a minute.
Yes, sir. Kraken taking the low route, the subway, if you will, to get down to the lower grounds here. Lots of feeding down here. Also, a lot of hidey holes for the Kraken to stay out of line of sight and continue on his farm. This is going to allow him to get down to the base here as quickly as possible. It looks like he's just moving along. He's getting those striders. The 1 meets, the 2 meets. He does spawn birds, though, so they will potentially know the direction he's in. They are dropped down to the ground now and in pursuit. They should be on his 6 in a moment here. In fact, he's already turning around and throwing the Vortex Blast back in their direction to try and slow him down.
All right. Sorry about that, folks. That took a little bit longer than I expected. It's tough running everything behind the scenes as well at the same time, but we are all set and ready to watch some more awesome Evolve. So we do have what could be the final game for Team Salge here. If their monster player loses, they will be out of the tournament today, and KPV will advance.
He's going in. He sees that he has them separated here nicely around that big rock pillar, so he's going in a little bit to potentially just try and slow him down. I don't think he wants to get caught here at stage 1.
Yeah, he is going to back off right there. And he will escape to the west side of the map. He'll probably go into the southwest corner, I think. It's a little bit more open, a little bit more wildlife down there. No, he's going up top. Looks like he's going to go up top. Interesting.
Yeah, this area here...
Okay, this is a strange spot for an Evolve.
Yeah, that area there I particularly do not like as the monster. There's not a lot of food. And they're going to catch him right here with no armor.
Wow, damage amp and hide with the flamethrower. How much damage do they do? We will see when this ability upgrade screen exits.
He only has Banshee Mines and Aftershock, so this is the full YOLO in-your-face build. I'm excited to see how he uses it here.
Yeah, and you know, against an a Cabot hide combo, this is going to be very, very punishing for him.
Yeah, they're already got him down to just about half health. Hyde is relentless, and that's the Hyde play I like to see. Just constant burn damage on the monster.
Yeah, they've already got him down to about half health. He does have a nice loop here, though. He will need to continue to use it effectively if he wants to have any chance of winning this game and keeping his team in the runnings for this tournament today.
That's the beauty of the 4v1 concept and how much fun it can be in competitive play when you have your full hunter team carrying you through to a position where you need to win it solo. It can be very nerve-wracking, and you can guarantee that he's feeling the pressure right now.
All right, Vortex to chase the team off a little bit. Going to delay Infernalish the Insult from staying on the target, but Cabot still able to fire away with that railgun.
There's the dust tag coming up.
He will get that dust tag, I think. Yeah, he does.
That's a really tough catch for the monster there. That was a pretty bad place to get caught. And just getting caught so early on. Pressure continues to come in. And you're seeing not only the burn damage from Hyde, but that burn damage from Kyra as well. As they pursue, she doesn't need to heal. It looks like a crash.
Yeah, I think Striker crashed right here. He looks like he's dead in the air.
Yeah, it looks like a crash. That
perhaps
sucks.
Everybody crashed.
That's unfortunate.
Well, Vax is okay.
I've got a trap ready.
That's it's a server crash, so you're going to be able to continue to move around as the hunters, as you can see the hunters are.
Yeah. Well, that's too bad. That happened once before today. You know, I've never seen a crash like this in a Sunday Cup before.
That's a bummer.
We'll have to see what the teams decide to do. Do you think they'll be able to reconnect, or do you think this is a hard server crash and they will have to restart?
I think they're going to have to restart from what I've seen with this.
Okay.
Unless, actually, it looks like he might have been able to disconnect.
Yeah, in which case the Hunters will continue to play against him, and he will have to reconnect. As per the rules, it's been more than 30 seconds.
That's a bummer. Fortunately, as you mentioned, you're not seeing that stuff a lot, so it's good to know. It's good to know that the game's performing fairly well in the competitive environment.
Yeah, in the past 2 months of Sunday Cups, I think we have cast a monster disconnecting a total of 2 games over whatever we've cast. Hundreds of games by now.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. They are right on him. Let's see if he can get back in.
Look at this, though. You know, and this is what I love about so many of the teams in the Evolve tournament scene. Just such great gentleman-like sportsmanship. They're following the Kraken, but they're not doing much damage to it because they want to give Striker a chance. They don't just want to demolish an AI monster. They're going to wait for that idol to disappear, and now the game will be back on. They may even let him get away and then go back in. KPV deserves a round of applause for that right there. They could have finished off an AI monster, taken a guaranteed win, and moved on in the tournament, which, by the way, is for real cash prizes every week. But they care more about having good gameplay and putting on a show for you guys. So, yeah, let's get some love in chat for KPV. That was excellent. I think they will quickly become a crowd favorite after pulling off a move like that. Yeah, and now the chase is back on again.
Yeah, definitely a good move by them. I think that if they continue to pursue, they could potentially finish this one fairly quickly. They're doing really good damage on the monster.
Yeah, they could. So they let him back off. Now they go back in again, and they get a fair dome on him this time. And this will be a real fight. They do have a good chance of winning this. This is a great spot to fight a Kraken. Very, very open. Little room for him to hide. But no, he goes on Hims right away. If he takes out the medic, things could take a turn for the worst real quick.
Damage amplifier on him, though.
Yeah, that damage amp and flamethrower combo, just a little bit too much. Hims, though, about to go down. The sneak pounce misses, and Hims gets away yet again. How much longer can he keep up this dodging for?
Yeah, nicely done by the Hunter. So this is a hide, or even just an assault versus Kraken that I like to see up in his face as much as possible. Jetpacking. Obviously, if you have the Sunny on your team, you want to have Sunny coordinating that jetpack boost. But just that aerial combat, some of my favorite moments in the fighting a Kraken and playing as a Kraken have been that aerial combat. And that's it. That's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's all she wrote. KPV not only showing that they can win and that they deserve to advance in this tournament through genuine play against a real player, but man, also just showing great sportsmanship. I love that.
Good game. Yeah, happens.
All right, so KPV will advance now into, I believe, the semifinals. Are we on the semifinals already? Yeah, we are. They will be advancing to the semifinals versus the winners of Eyes on You versus Epex White, I think. Okay, looks like Averse versus Epex White still has not concluded. On the other side of the brackets in the semifinals, we have Epex Black versus Survivors of Sheer. So that will be an interesting semifinal series. Don't go anywhere, folks. Stay tuned. We will be right back in just a moment. And thank you all so much for tuning in so far. If this is your first time watching the broadcast and you do want to support the channel, you can do so for free. You just hit that follow button down below. You will get notified anytime we go live for any of the Sunday Cups or any of our other broadcasts throughout the week. Thank you all so much. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.